2 over 1. Just going with all of them over the first one here. Positive or negative 5 over 1. Positive or negative 10 over 1. Then I move on to the next one. So positive or negative 1 over 2. Positive or negative 2 over 2. Positive or negative 5 over 2. Positive or negative 10 over 2. And then the last one, positive or negative 1 over 4. Positive or negative 2 over 4. Positive or negative 5 over 4. Positive or negative 10 over 4. So now I write these all out and simplify and get rid of any repeats. So here I have positive 1, negative 1. I have positive 2, negative 2. Positive 5, negative 5. Positive 10, negative 10. I have positive 1/2, negative 1/2. This simplifies to positive 1 and negative 1. This one doesn't simplify, so it's 5 over 2 and negative 5 over 2. This simplifies to 5 and negative 5. This one doesn't simplify, so 1 over 4 and negative 1 over 4. This one simplifies to 1 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. This one doesn't simplify, so 5 over 4, negative 5 over 4, and then this one simplifies to 5 over 2 and negative 5 over 2. So now I'm going to go through and cross out any repeats. So I have 1 here and 1 here, negative 1, negative 1. Then I have 5 here and 5 here, negative 5 and negative 5. Then I have 1/2 and negative 1/2 here and here, and 5 halves and negative 5 halves here and here. So now I have a shorter list. So I'm going to go ahead and write those out. So 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, 5, negative 5, 10, negative 10, 1/2, negative 1/2, 5 halves, negative 5 halves, 1/4, negative 1/4, and 5/4 and negative 5/4. So those are all of our possible rational zeros of that equation. Okay, for example 2, we are finding the real zeros. So, first we're going to make a list of all the possible rational ones. So, factors of 20, because that's our constant term, are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. And factors of my leading coefficient, which is 1, are 1. So I have 1 over 1, positive or negative 1 over 1, positive or negative 2 over 1, positive or negative 4 over 1, positive or negative 5 over 1, positive or negative 10 over 1, and positive or negative 20 over 1. So 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, 4, negative 4, 5, negative 5, 10, negative 10, 20, and negative 20. So those are all my possibles. So now I have to plug them in. So I'm going to look at f of 1, f of negative 1, f of 2, f of negative 2, f of 4, f of negative 4. Okay, so we're plugging these in. So 1 to the third power is 1. minus 8 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. 8 times 1 is 8. So 1 minus 8 is negative 7. 11 times 1 is 11. So negative 7 plus 11 is 4. Plus 20 is 24. So to make this go a little bit easier, I'm going to type it into my calculator. Minus 8 times 1 squared plus 11 times 1 plus 20. So I get 24 for that one. Now I can hit second enter, and that'll put in the same equation I just entered. And then if I go back, I can hit second insert, or the delete button here, and then put in a negative. Then I go over, second insert, put in a negative, second insert, put in a negative, and I get 0 for that one. And then I keep going. 2, 2, 2, 18. So as we keep going here, we get negative 42. Make sure you try these on your own to make sure you're doing it right. 0, negative 12, then f of 5 is 0, f of negative 5 equals negative 360, f of 10 is 330, f of negative 10 is negative 1890, f of 20 5040, and f of negative 20 is negative 11,400. Okay, so we are looking for the real zeros. So we're looking for where our function equals 0. So we have one here, and one here. So we have 3 answers. And if we remember back earlier in chapter 5, we said that the number of answers is equal to the degree of our polynomial. So the degree of our polynomial is 3, so we should have 3 answers. So our 3 answers are negative 1, 4, and 5. Those are our real zeros of this equation here. So for this one, for example 3, find all zeros of f of x equals 10x to the 4th minus 11x to the 3rd minus 42x squared plus 7x plus 12. So first thing, we're going to list the factors of 12. So that's our constant, and then we're going to list our factors of 10, because that's our leading coefficient. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are our first set of factors, and 1, 2, 5, and 10 are our second set of factors. So now we are going to list, so positive or negative 1 over 1, positive or negative 2 over 1, positive or negative 3 over 1, positive or negative 4 over 1, positive or negative 6 over 1, positive or negative 12 over 1. So I've done all of those. Now I repeat with over 2. So positive or negative 1 over 2, positive or negative 2 over 2, positive or negative 3 over 2, positive or negative 4 over 2, positive or negative 6 over 2, positive or negative 12 over 2. Done all of those. Now I do the same thing with 5. Positive or negative 1 over 5, positive or negative 2 over 5, positive or negative 3 over 5, positive or negative 4 over 5, positive or negative 6 over 5, positive or negative 12 over 5. And last, I do them with tens, positive or negative 1 over 10, positive or negative 2 over 10, positive or negative 3 over 10, positive or negative 4 over 10, positive or negative 6 over 10, and positive or negative 12 over 10. So now I rewrite these, simplifying as I go. So positive or negative 1, positive or negative 2, positive or negative 3, positive or negative 4, positive or negative 6, positive or negative 12. Now this one, positive or negative 1/2. 2 over 2 simplifies to 1, so positive or negative 1. Positive or negative 3 over 2, because that doesn't simplify. This one simplifies to positive or negative 2. This one simplifies to positive or negative 3. And this one is positive or negative 6. 1/5 does not simplify. 2/5 does not simplify. 3/5 does not simplify. 4/5 does not simplify. 6/5 does not simplify. And 12/5 does not simplify. 1/10 does not simplify. 2/10 does. Simplifies to 1/5. 3/10 does not. 4/10 simplifies to 2/5. And then 3/5 and 6/5. So we cross out any duplicates. So I got 1s here and here. Got 2s here and here. 3, 6. And then 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 6/5. I think that's it. So now I'm trying to find the real zeros, so I have to plug all of these in. So 10 times negative 1 to the 4th power minus 11 times negative 1 to the 3rd power minus 42 times negative 1 squared plus 7 times negative 1 plus 12. Get negative 16. So f of negative 1 is negative 16. And I plug in positive 1. And I get negative 24. And I plug in all of these. And I get 0 at negative 1/2 and 3/5. So 3/5, negative 1/2. So those are our two rational zeros. And then we'll have two more other zeros. So if we try all of these, those are our two rational zeros. So then we graph our function. So we type this into y equals, and then we hit graph, and we see it intersects the x-axis 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we hit trace. Negative 1/2 is that one right there. Let's see. Okay. So negative 1/2 is this one. 3/5 is this one. So now we have these two on the outside that we need to find still. So we're going to hit second, trace, and we're going to go down to 0, hit enter. Then we're going to scroll left on our graph until we get past our 0 that we're looking for, which is this one right about here. So I'm going to go left of it and hit enter. Then I'm going to move my cursor back to the right of it, and then I'm going to move it as close as I can, and that's as close as I can get. And I get for my 0 negative 1.562-ish. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. So second, trace, 0. Then I'm going to move my cursor over, but I still want it to be left of this 0 here, so I can hit enter here. And then I'm going to scroll to the right of it. So I have to go pretty far. And then I'm going to get as close to it as I can, which is there. Hit enter, and then it will tell me that my other 0 is at 2.562. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 answers. 2 of them are rational and 2 of them are not. But we got all 4.